Nate, tell me, how impressed were you with the Warriors last night?
Stunned, shocked, bumfuzzled. I would say appalled, but that's a negative thing. I've been stunned by the way the Warriors have played because this is a super, super physical team. And what we've seen over Steph Curry's career is you put a body on him. Matthew Dellavedova disrupted Steph Curry in the NBA Finals. Matthew Dellavedova. Because if you just stay physical with Steph Curry, unless he makes some god-tier shots, which he has done over the course of his career, you have to create as minimal amount of separation between you and Curry as humanly possible, because that's how you disrupt him. That's what the Rockets did when he scored 3 points, and that's what they've tried to do in this series so far. But the Warriors, this game was stunning to me, because after being down 7 at halftime, they go on an 18-1 run to open up the second half. And by the way, I said this to open the series, and I'll stand on it because this was a perfect example of what I was talking about. This game was a perfect example of why I said that Jimmy Butler needs to essentially carry the Golden State Warriors, because Steph Curry will have off games. He had an off game in this one. Would you believe, and this is absolutely shocking, they had like a 30 winning percentage when Curry drops under 20 points in a game. Since Butler's gotten there, they're 6-1. So having that crucial second option for the Golden State Warriors, because Podziemski, he's young, he's growing, he's not Klay Thompson yet, where he's part of the Splash Brothers. He had a great game in this one. He dropped a very solid 26 points of 6 of 11 from 3. It was a great game from Pods. But Jimmy Butler being that key cog, that X factor to pick up the slack when Steph Curry doesn't have a good shooting night. Now, from the floor, you look at 6 of 13, you're like, okay, he barely shot under 50%. But his claim to fame is the 3-point shot. He went 2 of 8. He was essentially, in large parts of the game, ineffective. Although, it didn't matter, because you had Quinn Post, 13 points off the bench. We're talking about bench points a lot in this episode of the Harvey Hour, but it matters a lot. If you don't have a bench, it's very, very key. That's why the Nuggets are looking a little bit shaky, and they have over the course of the NBA season. They don't play great defense. They don't have a great bench. But in this game, man, the NBA playoffs is a completely different breed of basketball, because the refs are letting these guys play, and I love it. I love when they play physical basketball. I love the altercations. Now, I'm not saying Malice in the Palace, where Ron Artest is beating up fans. No, I don't like that. But you know what I do like? I like when they get into a brawl. I like when Jimmy Butler and Dylan Brooks get into it. I like when Draymond Green gets into it with people. I like that kind of basketball because it brings an intensity. It brings a level of physicality that you don't get through 82 games of a regular season. I loved it. And I think what's massive is, would you believe, I think Şengün is like 4 or 5 inches taller than Draymond Green. Draymond Green dominated on defense. It was surprising. I think he shot 20% when Şengün was guarded by Draymond Green. And what was extremely shocking was, in the most crucial spot, there's a reason why Draymond Green was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, and it's this exact play. The last true possession the Houston Rockets have, going up against Draymond Green. Green puts a body on him, creates contact, generates a very good defensive performance, and Jimmy Butler, shout out to you. I don't know if he's jumped higher in his life to go out to get that rebound. I mean, my God, look at the bounce on that. Going up, long air time. I thought this was a great game for the Golden State Warriors all around. And what was shocking, again, is we kind of knew this, that the ball movement for the Rockets was dead last. But add on top of the fact is, the Warriors made the Rockets look very slow. They were slow on rotations. Fred VanVleet, in moments of this game, while he shot great, there were moments you could look at it where he looked like he was in no man's land trying to find his assignment. It wasn't that great of a look. Now, again, he played great offensively. I think he shot 8 threes. He made 8 threes in this game. But defensively, it wasn't a tremendous performance. I was stunned. Steph Curry had a low game. He's allowed to have those. They have Jimmy Butler back. He played great coming off of an injury. I think all around, this was a tremendous game to watch. Warriors dominated on rotations. They and also, here's something that's a little bit, I think, of experience differential here. The Rockets bit on nearly every pump fake the Warriors had. That creates easy shots, or easy foul calls. And again, how many times did Jimmy Butler go to the line? 12 times. That's a whole new factor that he brings to the Golden State Warriors, where you can get to the free throw line. They were dead last in free throws before Jimmy Butler got there. And since Butler's got there, they've had the highest free throw rate in the NBA. So I absolutely loved watching this game. I had the Warriors in 7. I'm glad I picked the Warriors to win. Some people picked the Rockets to win. I would not be surprised if they go up against the Houston Rockets and beat them in 5. Gentlemen sweep them.
Yeah.
At this point, because Curry, he'll have a bounce-back game. Butler has played very consistently, and he gets to the free throw line, which means easy points. Also, the clutch 2 free throws at the very end of the game.
Yeah, that was important.
The Knicks shot, I think, 61% from the free throw line. The Nuggets shot 68%. If the Warriors shoot 68% from the free throw line, or just Jimmy Butler himself shoots 68% from the free throw line, the Rockets have played good enough in every single one of these games where they could very well have swept the series.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Warriors shot 91% from free throw line.
If you shoot 68%, that's points off the board, which then goes to the Rockets and they win these games.
The Rockets 62%. So
that's the difference right there.
Yeah.
That's the difference
In a 3-point game.
They went 19 of 31 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
That's pitiful.
Yeah. Okay,
that's pitiful.
My comment here, Jimmy Butler is back. Right? 3 free throws with 58.7 seconds. Game-clinching rebound with 4 seconds left. And 2 more free throws on his way to 27 points and a 3-1 lead, with the series returning to Houston tonight. To me, that performance by him says it all about this series. It's the Warriors' experience that's the difference in this series. Their experience has made all the difference against Houston. And and the other one is the clip that you showed of Draymond Green going up against Sagoon here. Look at this. That's experience, right? That's experience, the rebound. That's what made the difference in this game. It was a 3-point game, and the Warriors found a way to win it. The other experienced player for the Rockets, Van Fleet, who has won an NBA championship when he was with Toronto, missed the tying 3-pointer at the buzzer. That he was under pressure, and that's the experience of the Warriors. Keep him under pressure, but not fouling him. Pazinski, 26 points. Healed, 15 points in a starting role. He had not been a starter. They put him in the starting role. He came up big with 15 points. And that was very important because Curry had an off game. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers, right? And I think that part of that, Nate, is what you said. When they put the big body on Curry and you put a lot of pressure on him, it affects his game. And that's what happened. And the Houston has an excellent defensive team. And Udoka's, that's his part of his calling card, is ability to get his team to play great defense. Sagoon scored with 40 seconds left to make it a 1-point game, finishing with 31-10. Not bad. Very good game. Van Vliet tied the game with a 3-pointer at 120 and had 25 points. Multiple times, tempers flared, as you said. You like watching those guys out there beating each other up. With many technical fouls called. For Houston to win Game 5, which they what's the line on this game?
I forgot to. I think Warriors are favored.
Warriors are favored. Yeah.
I didn't.
I think for them to win Game 5, where the hell is Jalen Green? Huh? He needs to step up. And this was a comment in the beginning of this series that Jalen Green plays inconsistently. He can have a game where I think he scored 36 points in one of the games in this series. He had 8 the other night in Game 4. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 5 turnovers. So that ain't going to get it done. And they only lost by 3. So come on, Jalen. If the Rockets are going to make it, you got to do better than that. They need more points from the bench. They had 14 versus 18 for the Warriors in Game 4. They should take more 3-point shots. They were 11 of 23 in Game 4, 47.8%. So the Warriors on 37%, but the Warriors scored 18 more points off the 3-point shot, right? They took a ton of it. They had 46 threes, right? 37%, but the volume of them, they wound up with 18 more points than the Rockets did. They need to shoot better free throws. They're 19 for 31, 61%. That's the difference in the game right there. They only lost by 3. Come on, can't you make 2 more free throws? 2 or 3 more free throws, right? From the start, you could say, how did the Warriors win this game? If you look at the stats, right? How did they win Game 4? When Curry had a poor game by his standards, they shot 37% from 3. They were out-rebounded by 7. They gave up 20 points to the Rockets' 11 on turnovers. They were outscored on the fast break by 4 points and in the paint by 20 points. They had 18 more points on threes. That was it. And they had 90% from the 3 flow. And they had the clutch play from Butler and from Draymond Green and to a certain extent by Curry. It's the experience. That's the difference in this series. To win in Houston, I think the Warriors, they need a bigger game from Curry, and they need another big game from Butler. And for Hield and Podinsky to and Post off the bench to play well. One other thing that we haven't talked about here that I think is important, and there hasn't been much said about it. I think that Steve Kerr is doing an excellent job coaching the Warriors in this series.
Well, and I can tell you exactly why. We saw a vintage move. We saw a hack-a-Shaq, except it was a hack of Steven Adams. They sent out Kevon Looney to go out there and just foul Steven Adams because he's a very poor free throw shooter, because that's the key. Steve Kerr saw them being dominated on the offensive boards. Steven Adams had 5 offensive rebounds. So what do? Foul the worst free throw shooter out there, have Ime Udoka take him out of the game because you're just going to put him in the bonus. He's going to miss 2 free throws. And then all of a sudden you just get the rebound, and all of a sudden it's Warriors ball, Rockets have 0 points. So that's a phenomenal coaching move by Steve Kerr. And I'll also say on top of the fact, Draymond Green, he's 6'8", 6'9", going up against Şengün, who I think is like a 7-footer.
Uh-huh.
Şengün is shooting 37% while guarded by Draymond Green.
Yeah,
that is unacceptable. I'm sorry.
Here is the experience factor again. Draymond Green has tons of experience in the playoffs. He's a 4-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
Şengün, who is bigger and maybe more talented, right? In a lot of ways, he's a good shooter. He hits his shots, although he missed a lot of easy ones, right? He missed a bunch of the little floater, the little floaters.
Yeah.
He was missing those. But I think that's the experience. I think he's nervous.
That could be it.
So I give Houston a lot of credit. I think that going up against the Warriors are very tough to do with the experience that they have and the players that they have, and with the bounce that they've gotten since Jimmy Butler's come there. I don't think that Houston's going to win. I think it's going to be the Warriors now. If the Warriors lose this, it will be a collapse, right? It will be. We'll be saying, "Wow, how did that happen?"
Last time they did this,
they're up 3-1.
Well, that's what people said during the 2016 NBA Finals. The only difference is they don't have a LeBron James on the other side.
Right.
So, and also I doubt Draymond Green's going to get ejected in Game 5, which then
they have Steve Kerr as their coach.
They do.
And I think that's a big factor.
I mean, this was a back and forth. 11 lead changes. 10 times this game was tied. You're on the edge of your seat. This is a great series, too.
Yeah.
But the big names are not it. Like, for me, Clippers-Nuggets is the #1 series so far.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got the Thunder, who blew out the Memphis Grizzlies. You got the Cavs, who just led by like 122-point differential. That was just an embarrassment.
That was an embarrassment.
I'm sure some Heat fans saying disband the franchise at that point because that was just bad. At a home court, too, you get blown out. You score some of the fewest amount of points in the first half we've ever seen in playoff history. This is also a phenomenal series. But the Clippers and the Nuggets, they have Jokic, Jamal Murray, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. They have the name brand guys there. So all around, I think this is a tremendous series. I would take Warriors. I'm not sure in 5. I still have the Warriors winning, obviously, though. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this clip of the Harvey Hour. If you want to watch the full show, you can by clicking the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to take the show with you on the go, it is available wherever you get your podcast. We go live here on YouTube every single Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a video and whenever we go live.